What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome to this week's Sunday bonus video, where as always we are going to be going through my entire eyeshadow palette collection and pulling the 4 palettes that y'all will have to choose from for my upcoming Throwback Thursday video. So make sure that you head over to my community section so you can cast your vote for the palette that you want to see. But as always, we are going to get started in this little top section right up here where I have all of my Nomad, my Cosmic Beauty, and my Adept palettes. These live up here because they just don't fit in these drawers anymore. I've kind of outgrown them. I have rearranged them just a little bit more, so if you watch these videos every single week, things are going to look a little bit different than they did last week. And I know last week they looked even different than they did before, but I think I'm finally happy with the way I have things rearranged, at least until I get into another organizational fit. But for now, this is how things are going to live. But let's get back to up here where I have all these palettes. So immediately looking at all of these, I am going to pull this palette, but I am planning on doing a look for St. Patrick's Day, and this is the palette that I want to use for it because it is the Ireland Wild Atlantic Way palette. It doesn't get more St. Patrick's Day than that, so this one is definitely going to be pulled out, and I am going to do a look with it, but I'm not going to include it for Throwback Thursday. But let's get back into these. So skimming these palettes really quick, I think we're going to maybe skip up here. I don't know, do we want to play with this one? This is the Okavango Safari palette. It is a little bit on the neutral side, but oh, it's so pretty. The shimmers in here aren't my absolute favorite. They're a little hard pressed, but they're not impossible to work with. They're just not the easiest to pick up. I like to pick these up better with my fingers than I do with a brush because I feel like a brush is almost impossible to pick them up, but this is such a pretty palette. But do I want to play with this one right now? I don't know, we're going to pull it for now. We'll see what happens, but let's carry on. So looking at Cosmic Beauty, I think we're going to skip this section as well. I have every single palette that they've released with the exception of the very first one. That was something Rose. I can't remember the name of it, and I am still so upset that I never got it. By the time I was ready to pick it up and I had fallen in love with the brand, they had gotten rid of it. So I will forever regret that I don't have it, but it is what it is. It's not a big deal. But moving over to Adept, I think we're going to skip Adept as well, and we're just going to move on to this very first drawer right here. And this is still going to be my Unearthly, my Fantasy Cosmetica, and then I have these right here from Gloss God. So this hasn't changed. It still looks the same. And going through here, I think we are going to probably skip this drawer. Let me just kind of run through these really quick so I can get a good idea of what I have. It can kind of, you know, get to a point where you forget about palettes. I know that sounds like awful. It's like, oh, if you're forgetting you have things, why are you getting more? But you know, when you have a large collection, you forget things exist. So it's fun to go through them. At least I think it's fun to go through them. I love doing this with y'all every single week. Let's see here. We have Spring Magic. I'm just not feeling that one right now. We have the new version of Not Normal. Oh, so pretty. I love the expanded color story, but there's definitely some of the shimmers in the original one that I miss. But I did declutter that one. It has a new home. I'm so happy to say it's getting all the love in the world, I'm sure. I think we're going to skip Unearthly. Let me see what else we have back over here in the Unearthly section. Oh, my Fall Magic palette. Dead of Night. This is such a beautiful palette, y'all. I love this one so much. Ooh, let's pull it. I just love that palette. It is beautiful. Daily Grind, another favorite of mine. Resurgence, Strawberry Milkshake, and of course we have the All I Ever Wanted palette. If I can get to it, oh my gosh, the All I Ever Wanted palette. That one is the, it was a mystery palette that they released last year. But let's put all of these back, however they went. I don't remember. And moving over here to Fantasy Cosmetica, what do we have? Ooh, the Bard palette. This one is so pretty. Did I play with this one recently? I don't remember. I don't think so, but we're going to pull it because I love that palette. It's beautiful. And I think we are going to skip the rest of this. I have all the Fantasy Cosmetica palettes too. I just love the brand so much. And then of course we have my Gloss Gods right here that every week I tell y'all a palette bingo is coming with it, and I swear it is. I just haven't gotten around to it. But let's move on to the next drawer. So Bella Beauty Bar, or Bella Beauté Bar, and Odin's Eye looks the exact same. I think we are going to probably skip this drawer. Let's see. That one's so pretty. This was my favorite of the 3 they released last year. Absolutely gorgeous. Of course, we have a really pretty pastel one. We have all of the Halloween palettes. We have the original Hella palette. Solmane 2. What is this? The Moon Wish palette. That's what that one's called. That one's really pretty as well. We have Jewels and Gem. This is not a collection video. I don't know why I'm going through all these palettes like this, but let's go ahead and put that back and move on to the next drawer down, because I don't think we're going to pull anything from here. I think we are going to skip this drawer. Let me just make sure. Let me run through these and make sure there's not anything that I want to play with. I haven't played with this one in such a long time. It is gorgeous though. Do we want to pull it? I kind of want to pull it. Okay, we are going to pull that one. I already have 4 palettes sitting there. That's okay. We always pull way more than we need. Okay, I think we are going to skip this one. Yes, we're going to put all this back and we're going to move on to the next drawer down. So let me get all these back in here. And is this where things start to look different? Yes, this is where things start to look different. So in here we have all of my Blend Bunny, my Titanium Foxes, and my Glaminatrix. I cleared this out so I could see things better. This drawer had my Blend Bunny and Titanium Foxes kind of shoved in the back, and then I had all of my Sea Beauty up front, and I kept skipping a lot of the palettes in here because it was just too much work to rearrange and pull everything out, and I didn't want my collection to feel like that. I wanted everything to be accessible, and I feel like now it is. So looking at Blend Bunny, we have this palette right here. This is the Longing palette. I know a lot of people love that one, but Lure is still my absolute favorite. This is such a beautiful color story. I think this is my very first Blend Bunny palette actually. I just fell in love with this one so hard. I love the colors in here. I love the packaging in here. And I even love the new one that she just came out with, Beauty Below. That one is stunning. Machina. Gorgeous, gorgeous palette as well. Sugar and Grunge. Sadly, you can't get that one anymore. Such a shame. I keep hoping she's going to bring it back under a different name, and she hasn't. Sickly Sweet. One of my favorite pastel palettes in my collection. The Surge palette. Oh, such a good one as well. And of course, I have the Blend palette back there. I think we are going to skip this drawer. We have my little Glaminatrix collection in here. And then of course we have my 2 Titanium Foxes palettes. All of my new palettes that came out this year are in a separate section. So I keep those all separate, and then about halfway through the year, I'll bring those in. And then the ones that come out after that will stay separated. It's just kind of how I do things. But let's move on to the next drawer down. So I need to rearrange myself really quick. Alright, so next drawer down is going to be all of my Wicked Widow beauty back there. We've got Cleona, she belongs over there, CXC, Melt, Lethal, and then Lunar Beauty. So I kind of rearranged things a little bit more. Again, I could see everything. Everything is a little bit more accessible than what it was before. And I think... Are we going to skip this drawer? I think we are going to skip this drawer. I think I need to start going backwards through these. I know I say that almost every single week, but I feel like I pull so many palettes at the beginning, and then I get down here and I skip ones that I want to play with because I already have so many pulled, because I really, really, really would love to play with the Resurrection palette from Wicked Widow. This is such a gorgeous palette. It is by far my favorite rainbow palette in my collection. It's incredibly beautiful, and this would be a really fun palette bingo to do. But look at like those multi-chromes in there. They are so shifty and beautiful. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but I just love this palette. It's like a rainbow with a twist, and here I am just gushing and gushing about it, but I think I'm going to pull it. I really, really want to play with it. So I think that's kind of it from this drawer though. I think we're going to skip everything else and move on to the next one. Yeah, let's move down to this drawer right here. And this one stayed the same. I didn't change anything in here. So we still have all of my Ladybug Glow, my Gourmande Girls, Blairdale MUA, Simply Posh, and then Sugar Drizzle back there. and we are going to, I think, probably skip this drawer. Yeah, I love this drawer, but we're going to skip it and move on. And this drawer looks a little bit different. So this drawer is all of my ColourPop and my Glam Light. I felt like these were two large collections that just need to be put into one drawer and just make it a little bit easier. But this is so much better. I can see everything a little bit better. I feel like things aren't nearly as cramped as they were before. But looking in here, there's definitely a palette that I want to pull, and it is the Rick and Morty palette from Glam Light. I have only played with this palette one time. I was very late to the game with this one, but look at that. Oh my gosh, another one that would make a really good palette bingo. So we're gonna pull this one as well. I just love these fun, bright, vibrant colors in here. Like, oof, I want to play with this palette. I love this little section up here. How pretty is that? Okay, we're gonna pull this one. And then we're going to put everything back, make sure everything fits in there nicely. And we're going to move on to this drawer right here. And y'all, I have a designated C beauty drawer, and this makes me so happy. I've been saying for quite a while that I wanted to have a drawer for all of my C Beauty. It is ever growing. I have a very strong love for C Beauty. They have amazing formulas, beautiful color stories, and I just wanted to have them all displayed in one place and give me lots of growing room, and this definitely gives me that. So in here we've got my Color Rose right here. We've got some Girl Cult right here and right there. We've got my Cheer Yep or Quignon. We go into, what is this right here? This is my Shall We right here. And then we've got Narimi, we've got Anthemy. This one is from Haggard. I am so sorry, we're out of frame. This one is from Haggard. We've got Dramo, and then back here we have Kryptine. And I'm thinking eventually this will probably turn into maybe K Beauty and J Beauty, just depending on what I get to try out and how things grow. But for now, this is all of my C Beauty, and I'm trying to decide if there's anything in here that I want to play with. There's so many beautiful palettes. Like, I just love this drawer. And let's see here, sitting here trying to think about it. Do I want to pull this one from Dramo? This was a top favorite palette of mine last year. Like, when I first picked it up, I thought, oh, that's really pretty. But once I got into it and really started playing with it, this is a gorgeous color story. It has pastels, it has grunge, the shimmers are beautiful. Again, it's like a rainbow with a twist. It looks very chaotic, but it's not. It's just, there's something so special about this palette, and I just love it so much. And I think maybe we'll pull this one. I want to pull that one. So we're going to pull it, and then we're going to move on because we still have 3 more drawers to go through, but once again, I need to rearrange myself. Alright, so here we are in this bottom drawer over here, and this is the rest of my indie palette. So this at one point was that bottom drawer over there, and I managed to clear out space and move all these over here so I can actually go through them and see what I have, because there were so many times I skipped that bottom drawer because it was just too overwhelming. I couldn't see everything, and I thought instead of pulling everything out, I'm just going to close it and we're going to act like it doesn't exist, but I don't have to do that anymore. So I don't think there's anything in here we're going to play with this week, just because I already have quite the stack of palettes pulled over there. So I just want to do a quick run through really quick to see what we do have. Oh yeah, y'all, did you see that DD Signature is coming out with a Chromebook Volume 2? I don't know if I'm going to pick it up, just because I feel like between this one and a couple others, I have like all of the beautiful sparkly palettes I could possibly need, but we'll see what happens. But if you're interested in it, that one is, it's either already out or it's coming out by the time this goes up. I don't know. I'm pre-filming this a few days early, so I have no idea. But let's carry on. Let's see here. This is another brand I want to try more from. I really want to try more Beauty Moon, and I just haven't had the chance yet. I think we're going to skip this drawer. We're probably going to skip the next 2 as well. But this has all of my more mainstream brands. Some of these are a little bit more on the high end. All of my luxury is up here. But this is going to have like the Too Faced, Urban Decay, Huda Beauty, Make It by Mario. You know, we got Juvia's Place in here. Just all of the brands that you can get mostly at Ulta or Sephora. We do have some other brands in here that you can't get there. But these are more of like those kind of brands. And then up here, like I said, This is where all of my luxury palettes are. So my Natasha Denona lives in here, my Pat McGrath. We've got some Danessa Myricks back there, and then we've got all of my quads and mini palettes back there. And I usually don't touch this drawer just because I don't know. I just don't ever touch it for whatever reason, but we are definitely due for another mainstream slash luxury Throwback Thursday coming very soon. But for now, I think we are good. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the palettes that we did pull. And as always, we've got some dwindling down to do. Alright, also these are all the palettes that I pulled for this week. We have a total of 7 of them sitting in front of me, and 3 of them need to be put away, so 4 of them can move forward. So sitting here looking at this immediately, I think we're going to end up putting away the Okavango Safari palette, and I think we're also going to put away the Dead of Night palette. I don't know why I was going to say Dark of Night, but the Dead of Night palette. So now we are down to 5, and 1 of these needs to be put away. And I'm sitting here looking at this, and I think we're probably going to put this one away from Fantasy Cosmetica and keep out these 4 palettes over here. Like, these 4 are really inspiring me. They are colorful, they are fun, they're a little bit bigger with the exception of this one. But I feel like these 2 palettes, if either one of these were to win, we would 100% do like a palette bingo with them. And then this one, I'm feeling it. There's something about the neutrals with the blues and the purples that I really want to play with. And of course, I love this one right here. So these are going to be the 4 palettes. So let's do quick close-ups of each one. That way y'all can get a better look at them. So the first one that we have is going to be the Dramo Weird Nightmare palette. Absolutely beautiful. And those shimmers right there, they look a little flaky in the pan, but they smooth out absolutely beautiful on the lid, and they are just so reflective and shifty and beautiful. So that is going to be our very first option. I keep this little insert because I just think it's so pretty with the little bird on there. I really like it. I don't always keep things like that, but if it's really pretty, I will keep it. And then we have the Bella Beauté Bar, the Sun and the Sea palette. I wanted to call it like the Land and the Sea, but anyways, it's the Sun and the Sea palette. And this one is really pretty. I'm not the biggest fan of this top little section right here. I feel like we could have had a little bit more variety, a little bit more depth going on, but the shimmers in this palette are insanely beautiful. They are shifty and vibrant and just so special. And that's one of the main reasons that this palette stays around in my collection, but that one is going to be an option. And then of course we have from Wicked Widow Beauty, the Resurrection palette. Absolutely love it. I've already gushed about this one, but of course another close-up is welcome. Look at that shade right there. Oh, so pretty. And then the last one is going to be the Rick and Morty palette from Glamlight. So fun, bright, vibrant, almost a neon palette. Like, these are really, really bright and vibrant and so sparkly and beautiful. So those are going to be the 4 choices for this week's Throwback Thursday video. So like I said at the beginning, please make sure to head over to my community section so you can cast the vote for the palette that you want to see in Throwback Thursday. And as always, if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, click on the notification bell, and until my next video, have a good one. Bye.